Unpopular opinion that most people probably don't think about. Your whole family is gonna pass away one day, and you better pray that you're the last one standing. We all get older, right? And I learned this when I was working with the older generation, the elderly lot, right? And I was asking them series of questions because it's just unadulterated, unfiltered, unencumbered advice they give you because they just don't care. They're at the last days, so they know that the advice they give you is the best advice for you to live your life because it doesn't impact them. It's not going to affect them. So it's usually beneficial for yourself, right? So they said the best thing you can do in life is understand how to be alone, just by yourself. Because if your partner dies after a certain amount of time, which as women, men die before women do, so they always die of well, it's been statistically proven. You can go Google it. I'm not gonna try and force that fact down your throat. I'm just gonna make you aware to it and make you understand that if you don't treat the people around you right, you will end up alone. Some people are alone through choice because the people around them aren't any good. So they choose to be alone because they know the stuff that can come from being around those networks. 1 second. Sorry, I'm back. So, as I was saying, you have to learn to get used to being by yourself. I'm not really sure where I left off, but got distracted. Anyway, you've got to learn to be by yourself. Because as you get older, your family members fade out, your friends fade out. They also in stages in life. So like most people are not friends with the whole of the friend group they had in nursery when they go into primary. And then from primary, it goes again into secondary, goes again into college. You change your friend group. Your friend groups evolve on a constant basis. And if you are doing the right thing and weeding out the people that aren't good for you, the people that aren't genuine to you, the people that just are associates, once you know how to group up different environments and situations and you're able to process it in the correct manner, you'll learn that later on in life it's okay to be alone because it's training. It's training for when you're older. Also, another thing is when you've been over socialized for a very long extended periods of time, when you get older and you are now home ridden because your body has started to now go through the process of decomposition slowly as you get older, this is what happens. You can then go into a really bad depression because you're not used to the lifestyle that you've always had. You don't know how to cope through it, which most people don't. That's why they continuously keep running back to external validation, anything outside of themselves, meaning family, friends, associates, work, gym, whatever. You don't grow that muscle in yourself. So later in life, when it comes to you genuinely being alone, and I've seen it firsthand, it can make you go to the other side quicker because you're so incapable of processing things, of being alone, of being within yourself. And another thing is people that are overly stimulated from external sources are usually running away from something within themselves, trying to distract themselves from things that they're not willing to process and handle and deal with. In the meantime, via counseling traits and CBT therapy, what I've come across and what I have learned is that when you continuously distract yourself from situations that you are fearing, that you are worrying about facing, it gets to the point that you do not think clearly, and even though you think you do, and then you put yourself in situations continuously where they're not beneficial for you, whether you think they are or not. In the long run, you will see in hindsight they're not actually beneficial for you. And you keep going on this merry-go-round to the point where you're not proud of yourself. You look down the road and you said, I've done X, Y, Z things, and it's been a knock-on effect and a domino effect. And instead of stopping and saying, you know what, let me just take some time out, let me get my mind right, let me get good with me, let me understand certain things within myself so I can be content to be by myself. So later on, you can socialize anytime. Let me just clarify that as well. You do not have to isolate yourself forever for you to grow this muscle, but you have to learn to grow it. So for later life, you are able to be whole within yourself. Pardon me. The older people that I met that were well versed and well structured and went into long late life are usually the people that I've been able to master that. So if you want to live long, learn how to love yourself, because that's what it is. It's self-love. Rather than you externalizing everything, you internalize, process, and then when you're able and you're healed, you can go back out into the world and do the best for yourself and others. Like, share and subscribe. I am definitely going to elaborate on this at a later date, but that's enough for you now.